Charon, do you want some hot cocoa? I'm sure you're exhausted after such a tough
Has some
fight.
tacos for dinner.
You should get some rest.
Thanks, but I'm fine.
Don't listen to Grim Vulture. They'd say anything to get under your skin. Once we start doubting the truth, we've fallen into their trap.
No, Proxy. I think Grim Vulture has a point. Maybe it's all just in my head. The things Grim Vulture left. When I touched them, I was reminded of the day the old capital fell. I felt the same sensation when I touched an injured comrade. I tried to shake off that feeling, but the truth is, I can't stop thinking about the possibility that all my squad mates are dead.
Would you be willing to share more? What really happened to you and Liar Squad on the day the old capital fell?
That day, in the first hour Hollow Zero started expanding, Defense Force HQ thought it was just a normal Hollow disaster, and thought they could suppress it with the standard amount of troops. Liar Squad was among the first troops sent there. Before we left, our superiors promised reinforcements would be on the way to support us in combat. So we didn't need to worry too much about facing the Ethereals. But soon after we began the mission, we realized things weren't going to go like we thought. The Ethereals came at us like an endless tide. The Hollow expanded beyond control. And more importantly, the reinforcements never came. The Defense Force troops outside the Hollow soon realized this was no ordinary disaster. Hollow Zero was devouring Eridu at horrifying speed. The reinforcement plan was called off, and the promised troops retreated. Honestly, even if they had come to help, it wouldn't have changed anything. I watched as members of the advanced force around me died one after another, or were corrupted into ethereals. Our squad slowly lost the strength to maintain formation. I was a weak point in our formation. An ether shot fired by an ethereal hit my eyes, corrupting them. Because of that and several other wounds, I shortly lost consciousness. I'm not sure how long I was out, but just before losing my vision, I briefly regained consciousness. The last thing my eyes saw was my squad mate standing in front of me, looking back. When I woke up again, I was already back at base. The higher-ups detonated the Shiryu pillars, and finally managed to bring Hollow Zero under control. I don't know who rescued me from the Hollow, but none of my squad mates had made it out. For some reason, the image of my squad mates being the last thing I saw has stayed in my mind. It must be some kind of sign. A sign that they're still alive. Don't you think? They must have continued fighting after I fell unconscious, eventually getting lost in some hollow and losing contact with the main force, left to wander between the various hollows of New Eridu. That must have been what happened, right? The Defense Force? Civilians? No one believes me. So I decided to find them myself. The reason behind these eyes. It's got to be to guide me to finding them still alive. Am I wrong, Proxy? Are these eyes pointless? I knew that's what you thought. Interpreting what my eyes see as proof my squad mates are still alive is just wishful thinking. But if they're really gone, why would I have been given these eyes, which bring nothing but pain? If they're truly no longer alive, how can I apologize to them in person? Tell them I'm sorry. Sorry for being so weak. Sorry that I failed to protect them. Their faces are all so blurry. I can't see their expressions. I can't even bear to look at them. If their final look at me was filled with resentment and disappointment, I wouldn't know how to handle it.
Charon, listen to me. Even if everyone else thinks you're wrong, Wise and I will never dismiss your determination to find your squad mates. You don't need to make any justifications, because someone close to us is missing too, and we desperately hope she's still alive. Even if the whole world doesn't understand, we will never give up. But I also think being consumed by this obsession, unable to move forward, that's not what those who matter to us would want.
Belle is right. Listen, Charon, you're such a kind person. Maybe that's why you feel responsible for protecting everyone and blame yourself when you can't do enough. but you don't have to carry it all on your own.
Yeah. Right now, the best thing you can do is trust us. We can be sure that Vulture hasn't killed the client yet. As long as we have that lead, there's still hope. We'll support you. No one can dismiss your determination or will. No matter how things turn out, we'll stand by your side and we'll face it together.
Proxy, thank you. I feel better now. At the very least, I want to keep investigating. I'm not just going to stop here.
Sorry to disturb you at this hour. Oh, never mind.
They're pretty eager, huh?
No, it's not a hollow. If I'm reading...
Scott Outpost. Isn't that...
It's Remembrance Day. Don't you recall what...
So, they're not trying to lure us into a hollow this time. What's the deal? Are they trying to taunt us?
Whether it's a provocation or a trap, I'm not missing any chance to face Grim Vulture. Proxy, will you go with me?
Miss, I'm sorry for being mean to you before.
I'm really sorry.
No, she was right.
Oh, that's not...
In spite of it all,
I've always known the truth. That's something I can't face, even after all this time.
You really don't know us at all. This isn't the worst possible outcome by any means. Styx, my husband, and all his comrades who lost their lives, each one of them left behind their own legacy. Just look all around you. Everyone standing before you is a legacy they protected that is carried on to this day. After my husband passed away, Zeta and I received survivor benefits. And with all the odd jobs I've been doing, we've managed to get to where we are today. Styx always wanted our daughter to study art, and Zeta's interested in it too. Now, that dream has become a reality. She just got accepted into the art school in Janus Quarter.
Mom and I have our tough days, but I often think of Dad's cheerful laughter, and that memory gives me the strength to keep pushing through. One day, it'll all pay off, just like it has now.
Thank you for always being by my husband's side, even at the very end.
Well, I suppose you must have heard about my condition from my son?
Ethel, Kakaitis used to tell me about you. He often took leave or skipped work to earn extra money by part-timing, or to care for you when you were sick in bed.
Yes, that's true, but I bet he never told you my illness became so bad that I needed major surgery, and he worked his tail off to raise the money. Who would have thought he would pass before me? I used the benefits from his death for the surgery. And that's the only reason every time I think when I was too...
As for me, well, I'm currently working as a fashion designer.
A fashion designer? Is that because of Acheron?
It is. I'm sure you remember how much she loved beautiful things. She was always into fashion, so I decided to become part of that world. That way, she can always be with me. I admit I had no idea how fun... Anyway, I'm planning to start my own fashion brand next year. She used to say that after retiring from the army, she wanted to pursue fashion design. I really want to carry on her dream. It feels like my life's purpose. You know, she used to talk about you when she came home for the holidays. How your rivalry pushed her to keep improving. So, thank you. I'm proud of my sister. And I'm proud of you, too.
As you can see, all of us have made it to this day, carrying the will of those we loved. So please don't say they left nothing behind. They've always been a part of every pain and joy we... Please remember, everything and everyone in you is only...
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. It's been wonderful to hear about how you're all doing and to listen to these words. I'm so glad I decided to come here on Remembrance Day.
Speaking of which, I wasn't expecting to see any of you. What brings you here today?
I could ask you the same thing, Ethel. Last time I asked, you said you weren't coming. I only came because I suddenly got a DM from Nick.
I'm here because of Nathan's message, too. He was pretty insistent, so I thought he'd be here. But I've been looking around for a while now. I still haven't seen him.
So, it's the same for all of us. I responded to his message, but he...
Sorry, but who's this Nathan you're talking?
Nathan is Lethe's younger brother. Frankly, out of all of us...
The day the old capital fell, his squad was responsible. He's told us that story so many times.
He always blamed himself. And what we all lost.
May I ask what the name of Nathan's squad was when he was in the...
The Impera squad of the Obsidian Division.
Nothing. It's just...
And she got a little bit of booty too.
Is that Zoe on the podium?
Is she here to speak for the soldiers? That seems fitting.
Everyone please, quiet down. Zoe, of Nemesis Squad, a representative of the veterans, will now deliver the Remembrance Day speech.
Hello, everyone. I'm honored to stand here and speak on behalf of all of the soldiers of the Defense Force. Today, we gather to commemorate Remembrance Day, a day born from the tragedy of the old capital's fall. Many of us lost relatives or friends in the disaster, and I am no exception. Every member of my squad perished in that battle, leaving me as the only survivor. Losing the friends you cherish to the Hollow is a pain that never fades. It's a sorrow that will stay with us, now and forever. However, To the families of the fallen soldiers, hold your heads high with pride for your loved ones who gave their lives. They fought to the very last moment when the old capital fell. Death isn't the end, nor dishonor. It is their eternal medal. They gave their lives facing an unstoppable disaster, exchanging their sacrifice for the world we have today. In doing so, they fulfilled their duties as soldiers to perfection. Without the blood they spilled, Eridu would not have endured, and new Eridu would never have risen from the ashes. In honor of the wishes of the departed, look ahead, people of New Eridu. Our thoughts and remembrance of those who passed will be carried in every flicker of candlelight and in every bouquet of flowers. My speech was meant to end. The reason you all agree with this is the new Eridu of today. A huge disaster consumed the old capital, and the people who survived it keep saying things like, treasure the moment and start fresh to numb themselves, hoping to forget the nightmare. No one talks about the soldiers who gave their lives in Hollow Zero. No one asks why they had to die. The brave gave their lives battling the ethereal onslaught, while the weak survived. This is New Eridu, built by weaklings. Its order founded upon their way of thinking. Your applause makes me realize you all accept this logic. Each of you had loved ones who sacrificed their lives in the fall of the old capital. And now, you're thankful that someone has encouraged you to move on from them. What meaning does the sacrifice of those who died have if you all choose to forget? Have you never thought about why your own loved ones had to die? And why no one is responsible for their deaths?
Miss Zoe, there's not much time left for your,
Open your eyes! I'm speaking to those who have lost loved ones! If death is the medal for the fallen, then pain is the cross the living must bear. If you fear its weight and run from the suffering, the soldiers will never find peace in their eternal rest. To tear the wound open once again, so you'll never forget the searing pain! That's the real meaning of Remembrance Day!
I don't agree.
Charon, I didn't expect you to be here for Remembrance Day. How are things going with your search? Seems like you have something to say.
Among the people standing here, there's a woman who raised her daughter with the survivor benefits left by her husband. The will of the deceased lives on in every person here. The soldiers who died during the fall of the old capital fought for this. The future that their loved ones are making for themselves now. The old me might have agreed with what you said, but someone taught me that pain and hardship can lead to hope. They helped me see that hope could be inherited, not just destroyed when life fades. That's why I believe the departed didn't leave us wounded or with a heavy cross to bear, but with a melody. Each of us holds a harmonica that plays the melody of life. At first, it may sound awkward, but it will eventually flow smoothly, taking on our own style, until it merges with our soul.
You seem quite certain about what you're saying. Tell me then, what kind of melody is left behind by those we've lost?
I'm not sure. I can't picture the exact melody, but I trust the answer I've chosen. And I trust everything I've seen and heard.
A vague and insubstantial answer, isn't it? I was right about you, Charon. From the moment we met, I knew we'd never really understand each other.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Everyone, I apologize for taking up your time. My speech ends here. Please feel free to continue with your visit.
What do you think, Proxy?
Something was definitely off about her just now. And the things she said? I'm starting to get a really bad feeling about this.
You mean about her real identity, right? Looks like we're on the same page. Shielded by her identity as a decorated soldier, she seemed pretty confident that we wouldn't confront her. She arrived so brazenly and left without a care. If I'm right about this, she'll be trying to contact us again in no time.
Looks like you're a little busy, so I'll keep it short. The client just sent me a location via knock-knock, along with a picture of several unconscious, tied-up individuals. I'll send you the location shortly. It should be an entrance to the Hollow in Port Elpis. At this stage, I don't have any further requests. My only hope is that you'll proceed with caution.
A location with a picture of the hostages. Looks like Grim Vulture is losing patience and wants to put an end to all this.
Charon, what's your plan? With everything that's happened.
I've made up my mind. Proxy, please, it's up to me to stop Grim Vulture.
Let's go. What we doing here, man? I thought y'all boys finna come there eat. Even the chat in this whole talking about some ill, like, top 5. Five is here right here. I am honestly disappointed. I thought I was gonna see, like, way more heat than I actually did. 1990, oh, hell no. Boys, I think look like real Batiste. No. This is what I'm talking about right here. This kid soldier.
Let's fire.
Number 0, Anby.
Wanna stand it?
1, 2, yes.
This
All
story
accounted
mad fucking long, dude. I'm gonna have to make this a 2-parter, bro. No fucking way.
Charon, look! Another communicator.
Another communicator.
Oh, really? I think it's rather good for my...
Do you really still need to
You're right. Seems there's no need for secrecy anymore.
Zoe. No. Grim Vulture. Knocked Cartes and Nemesis. You just like me.
A sniper, the sole survivor, a mere pawn abandoned by the military. Don't you think we're very much alike? The Impera squad member, Nathan, the one you're searching for, he pleaded with me to let him go when I was about to kill him, saying he had to see you no matter what. That's how you caught my attention. I let him live to get all sorts of information on you. I was so curious about you that I even set a trap, disguising myself as a victim to get closer to you. It turned out we share the same story. We even got the same PTSD symptoms. After all these years, we still see images of our teammates before they die. It's impossible to erase them from our minds. It's just, you use ridiculous fantasies to numb yourself, chasing after illusions of your squad mates. While I can't afford to be as naive as you. One night, when I was overwhelmed with the unbearable images of my comrades' deaths, vomiting and crying, I finally realized the meaning behind their appearance before me. They were pleading with me, pleading for vengeance against those who abandoned us, begging me to destroy the repulsive, hypocritical new order of New Eridu. So, I carried on their will. I began kidnapping targets and sniping them in the Hollow, watching as they became corrupted and died in despair.
Do you really think this is what they'd want?
What else? Would they be like you, playing at a game of finding my missing squad mates, accepting their deaths when I'm done playing, and then forgiving the very enemy who killed them? What a noble and virtuous gesture! Forgive on behalf of fallen comrades, coexist with new Eridu's order, and live peacefully among cowards. It's precisely because you and I are so similar that this hypocritical and cruel attitude makes it even harder for me to forgive you. After our first conversation, I was certain I must end your life myself to prove I'm right.
That's exactly what I wanted to say to you, too. Because we've suffered the same hardships, I can't accept the path of destruction you've chosen. Jesse, Aaron, Nathan, the client I've been searching for, and any other targets of revenge you've set your sights on. They all feel regret and struggle over the choices they made back then. But you can't see any of that. You didn't target the higher-ups who misjudged the situation, the dangerous ethereals who killed your comrades, or the ones responsible for the fall of the old capital. Instead, you went after the easiest targets. Grim Vulture, as a sniper of the Eridu Defense Force, you have failed in your duty. To preserve the will and hope left by my comrades, I'm going to put an end to your actions right here!
That suits me just fine. A sniper should let the gun do the talking. Make it to the deepest part of the Hollow alive, and I'll meet you with nothing but raw malice. Since you made it here, let me reward you with a few things you don't know. Noct, Cartus, Impura, and many other squads. Did you know the reinforcements that were meant to back us up ended up deciding to retreat?
Yeah.
Relying on a show of hands to vote, isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah, can't catch me.
Our lives were discarded in such an absurd way, like a kindergarten election for class monitor.
You're in my sights. Recalibrate.
So, when I killed them, I employed the same method.
Me.
I made the dozen or so people I captured vote on who I should kill first. You wouldn't believe how funny it was.
Adjusting for wind.
Laugh! Why aren't you laughing?
Yeah. Jesse and Aaron, do you have them too? Or are they already?
You still care about them? Or should I say...
Yeah, now...
It looks like I haven't made enough of a threat to your life if you still have the time to worry about them.
I'll keep you safe.
So many openings.
Support.
Why not leave their faces hanging as an unsolved mystery? Normally that's more suspenseful, right? In any case, when you stumble into the underworld with your insides spilling out, you'll see the two of them.
Can't catch me. Yeah. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be more exciting to wait until then to reveal the answer? Those two morons are so stupid. Oh, it's hilarious. I just pretended to fit in a little, and they treated me as one of their own.
Target locked.
I'm ready.
Fire support ready.
They had their guard up, but they never thought twice. It's no surprise they retreated back then. Bunch of good-for-nothing idiots.
Yeah. The wind and rain are picking up.
I'm on it.
This extreme weather is perfect for sending you to your grave, don't you think? No one will hear your screams and cries as you die.
Yeah.
By the time the rain stops, the only thing left will be your cold corpse.
Yeah.
I wonder, do you remember the weather on the day the old capital fell?
Yeah.
You made it to the deepest part of the hollow in one go. Ah! Such determination deserves praise! Now, it's time for the final showdown we agreed on. But...
Fire support.
Dance! Let's not disappoint our customers!
But really, foolish is the only way to put it. What sniper would ever confront their enemy head on?
Show no mercy. What you deserve.
I've prepared a little gift for you.
Or...
No,
I made this dangerous ethereal by abducting and corrupting a high-ranking officer. It wasn't easy luring it here. You can play with it for a while. As for me, I'll watch you from above, waiting for the moment you slip up. Then I'll put a bullet right through your heart.
Time to pin them down.
Go play.
Fire support ready. Don't hesitate.
No escape.
You're in my sights.
Now you pay. Kindly fall into despair.
Ether vision activate. Support in position.
Loyalty.
Show no mercy.
It's time.
Adjusting for wind.
The real failure as a sniper is the one who's been forced into a corner, like you!
The wind. It's shifting.
I won't fall for your distractions so easily. What?
I will surpass you with my own melody of victory.
Golly.
Damn!
And let the wind be the opening notes.
Charon? No! Wake up! Charon! What's this?
I was gonna say, she too thick to die. I'm not gonna lie.
Just you?
Damn.
Where's your
Cooked.
friend?
The proxy went to rescue the hostage. A sniper should always monitor the changes to their...
Didn't expect to be when my view was blocked. I realized you...
Your prediction and accuracy were spot on. I was just...
Are you trying to say that this is destiny? That it's the will of my companions guarding me? I lost to the wave of ethereals, to the military fantasy, your attitude.
Yet you're emitting a much calmer ether energy now. Almost as if you found relief.
Bro, the story's too fucking long, bro.
I can't see my comrades on the brink of death anymore. My wounds are fatal, but...
Did you intend for me to kill you?
Let me answer that question with a story.
Oh my
my
gosh,
way.
bitch.
Few people
Bro.
can still stand severe corruption and injury, but
80-minute story
all five
is
of them were still
insane.
fighting. They were protecting a girl who had lost her sight and fallen unconscious while searching for hope. They told me they were beyond saving. And if I planned to retreat, I must take your comrades and trusted your... You already know what happened afterward. It didn't take long for you to leave the Defense Force. I developed PTSD so intense that sometimes if the reinforcements had kept their word.
To say I don't would be a lie. But given how quickly the Hollow canceling the reinforcement...
Objective and cold logic. I couldn't. Even if the chance was minuscule, I wanted my squad mates to survive. But they turned that. I can't help but resent them. By the time Nathan. When I tied him up and was about to... I think I've said this before. But you're still in the version of I kill you,
Oh my
or you
God,
end me.
bro. This bitch needs
I
to
would
shut
never-
up and die.
But
Why?
Bro.
emptiness, and no matter how many targets of my revenge I took down, nothing changed. Aiming my gun at former comrades, drowning in hate and rage, all it left was a hollow emptiness. But you're different. You've gained unconditional trust from the proxy. You have the courage to fight through my trap. And eventually, you'll have a melody that's uniquely yours. My belief has faltered. I finally remember my squad mates were fools just like you. You're right. They would never want me to become this way. I talk about carrying their cross. But in truth, I never carried their will. So be it. Take the hostage and go. A villain stained with the blood of others deserves nothing but a miserable end. I'm looking forward to how long you'll be able to protect those in front of your eyes. It can still be played after taking a bullet. Impressive.
This is my final melody to you. No matter how miserable you've become, I'll still remember you. Remember we once shared the same path in life. But in the end, our paths diverged. Your hatred has long twisted into sin. But if not for you, I wouldn't have learned how to hate. Or I used to know nothing. My teammates served as my teachers and taught me so much. And I think you must be my final teacher. You taught me, in the most intense way, what hatred truly means.
Really? So you found someone you want revenge against, too? That's
Bro,
good.
this bitch is still talking, bro. Thank you. Damn. Yap, yap, yap. Like, fuck. All that for me to not even get Zhu Yuan in this multi. But I'm gonna be closer to it. Still? Bro, how long is this fucking story? This shit's actually about to fucking piss me off, bro. I'm trying to get off. Long ass fucking story, dude. Like, what the fuck? Oh, it's already been 40 minutes. Yo, this better be the fucking end of it, dude. After this, I'm getting off. I don't give a fuck. Long ass fucking story, dude.
So you're the sniper from Liar Squad.
And you must be the one who's been searching for me. Nathan, the younger brother of Lethe. It's good to see you safe and sound.
That's right. I'm sorry for causing all this trouble. I nearly cost you your life, becoming a target of a victim from the fall of the old capital. Maybe that's what I get, not helping my brother and the rest of the defense force back then. When the reinforcements decided to retreat, I spoke out against it. I had family among the soldiers already in the Hollow, but I didn't have the courage to take that step. The one that might have cost me my life. I'm sorry.
You don't need to feel regret or apologize. The outcome wasn't something you could have controlled. You cared deeply for Lethe, and even today you still think of him. To someone like him, who always cherished family, that's more than enough.
Thank you. I heard you've been searching for the members of Liar Squad all these years. I'm nothing compared to your determination. Thank you for everything you've done, but please stop the search. It's time for you to start living a life that's truly your own. I hate to say this as a family member, but back then, they were already...
I know. You don't need to say it. I've been drowning in a fantasy of my own making for years. But it's a fantasy that kept me from falling into the abyss. Nathan, Grim Vulture told me you have something you want to give me. Is that...
Yes. After learning about the bond between you and your squad, I knew I couldn't live with myself if I didn't get this to you. So I got on my knees and begged Grim Vulture. Even playing this recording for her, hoping it would move her. Regardless of how things unfolded, what matters is that it wasn't destroyed, and I'm here, alive, to hand it to you. I found this while going through my brother's belongings. It's been tucked away for years. There's a recording on it, and I think it's a gift Liar Squad made for you, but never had the chance to give you.
Thank you so much. Do you mind if I listen to it now with the proxies?
Wait, with us? I thought we were just here to collect the commission fee today.
Go ahead. As for the commission fee, I'll pay it to you both shortly, so don't worry about that.
Hey, hello? Alright, it's a recording. This is a message from Liar Squad for our little sniper. Everyone ready? I'll count down. 3. Congratulations on your 1000th day with Liar Squad!
Hey, you guys are totally out of sync. Captain, can we redo this? The anniversary gift has to be perfect.
That's our assault specialist, Acheron. She has a strong sense of aesthetics, prioritizing beauty in both combat and her daily life. She taught me a lot about makeup and fashion.
Oh, she wants to earn the fucking story. Forget the re-record. Let's just get it done and order the cake. We don't want him to sell out.
That's our medic, Kakaitis. He's usually lazy and a bit of a smooth talker, but he's actually very capable and kind. He taught me...
You two, stop arguing during the recording. I've already ordered the cake. If you keep rambling, we really will have to re-record this. Cut the chatter already.
And that sticks. A reliable artillery specialist. He's the oldest in the squad.
Where's the
He
liable
loves sharing
story
photos
ender?
of his daughter and reminiscing about how he wooed his wife. The way he won her over inspired me a lot.
All right, let's all calm down. Wouldn't want to get on the captain's bad side. I mean, Captain, would you like to go first? We can edit or re-record whatever we need to.
That's our scout and engineer, Lethe. He's a bit self-conscious because of how his younger brother excels, and he's somewhat introverted. But he's actually very capable. He taught me sharp observation skills, calm execution under pressure, and how to make use of the environment.
Okay, thank you all for settling down before I completely lost my cool. It's fine. No need to cut anything or re-record. Let's just keep it as it is. Loud and messy, just like our liar squad.
That's our captain, who took me in and taught me how to play the harmonica. And the real Charon. I'll make sure to explain properly to you later, Proxy.
As you've heard, this recording is a little gift from the 5 of us. How time flies. When I brought you into the squad about 2.5 years ago, you were just a shy kid who blushed whenever you talked to someone. Over these 1,000 days, you've really worked hard to keep pace with our fighting rhythm. You've done incredibly well. In the last mission, your successful sniper kill of that high-risk ethereal really helped Acheron a lot.
I hate to say it, but yeah, I went too far in last time. Thanks for getting me out of that mess. Just this once, I'll admit, your moves were more elegant in that fight.
And not just that fight. Ever since you became a quicker shot and learned to adjust for wind speeds on the fly, we've been taking fewer and fewer hits. Makes my job way easier. So, cheers.
You often worry about not doing enough. But in these 2.5 years, you've absorbed everything I know about stealth, reconnaissance, and tactical countermeasures. Trust me, you'll become an incredibly skilled sniper.
Having you covering us from the rear makes every fight feel safer. But you still have a lot to learn about socializing and romance. When peace finally comes to Eridu, leave us and live your own life.
Where did that come from? She's not leaving us. Even if she retires, she'll move into my house and I'll spoil her with loads of beautiful clothes. We can talk about living alone in 10 or 20 years. Sorry, I got carried away. Anyway, you're talented and hardworking. Over these 1,000 days, you've opened your heart to us and even encouraged us in return. Having you as a comrade is a blessing for all 5 of us. But I have to say one thing. You're always so sensitive and kind. Every time you see us get hurt, you look like you're about to break. Has our squad motto, having each other's backs, become too much of a burden for you? I get how you feel. When your squad mates trust you with their backs, your first instinct is to protect them, right? But that's not the way it should be. No one can shoulder everything alone.
Don't try to carry everything on your own. Choosing to fight on the battlefield is my resolve. Feel it. Share yours with me. And when it's your turn to watch my back, I'll give my all to honor it too.
As long as you fight with all your strength, there's no such thing as failing to protect something. Because your will and our will is preserved and carried on in other ways.
But don't let that weigh on you. Try to trust in us, just like we trust in you, no matter what.
I've struggled with that kind of thinking myself, but I eventually made my way through it. All this talk of camaraderie, of keeping each other safe, it's like a harmonica melody scoring our time together. Even when things change, our tune will go on, and that's enough.
Exactly. Honestly, I'm sometimes terrified. Afraid that someday, you'll blame yourself for failing to protect us and fall apart. That's why I wanted to record this message. Please, don't try to bear everything alone. Maybe you can start relying on us more, fully entrusting your vulnerable side to us. Our will has long been intertwined with yours. We're comrades. This is getting way too sentimental. It doesn't feel like me anymore. Anyway, we just want to see you trusting your comrades enough to share your burdens, even if it isn't us. Finally, we'd like to give you the song that's closest to us. If what we've said is hard to understand, just feel it through the music. Please, enjoy my masterpiece, Homecoming.
Proxy, do you remember? I was once terrified of seeing the look on...
Yes. Can you see them clearly now?
Yes. Crystal clear. As if I've returned to the exact moment of parting. So this is our last glance. This is the answer you wanted me to find. Thanks, guys. Proxies. No. Lies. Belle. I've troubled you two a lot these days with my personal affairs. Words can't describe what you've done for me.
It's no trouble at all. To be honest, Belle and I have been a bit lost lately because of some personal matters. But meeting you has felt somehow comforting. Don't you think, Belle?
Exactly. We got something out of the experiences we shared. At the very least, it's brought us clarity. I guess our wills have always been aligned, haven't they?
Yeah. When I was trapped in self-doubt, unable to get out, I'm glad you were there with me. You're right. We've already entrusted our backs to each other as comrades. And because of that, because we are comrades, please, hear me out. Maybe you've already noticed. I'm sorry, but I've been keeping something from you. Charon isn't actually my codename. As I mentioned before, Charon was my captain's codename. When I met both of you for the first time, I didn't want to tell you my codename, because I thought someone who couldn't protect their squad mates had no right to one. So I lied. Captain Charon was an orphan like me, with no family to mourn her. I've been using her codename because I may be the last person in the world who still remembers her. But I understand now. If I want to keep moving forward, I can't keep hiding behind a lie. My true codename is...
You don't have to tell me right now.
At the harbor, Nathan spoke to you privately. Was he offering you a chance to
Yes. He said he still has a friend in the Defense Force who's currently forming a new squad.
So, what's your decision?
After everything that's happened, I think I do...
Your new goal. Are you going to look...
Yes. My encounter with Grim Vulture, I'll uncover the real culprits behind the old capital's fall, and make them pay for their... I have a gut feeling the masterminds will reveal themselves again soon. To protect the city my comrades cherished and sacrificed their lives for, I won't allow such a tragedy to happen again by letting the will to protect guide my hate.
That's what I thought.
Are you saying we're...
No. We might walk different paths.
To be honest, after facing an enemy as ruthless as Grim Vulture, we're reminded of our own powerlessness. Watching you fight, we're nowhere near strong enough to protect you. And we're not
If this is your slightly If, as you say, I hope we can become true comrades.
Yes, it's a promise.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, bro. Now, who the fuck is this dude, bro?
Recommended by
Yeah, I heard about you from my superior. You're the one who dealt with the serial murders targeting the Defense Force, right? Let me confirm.
It's too
a
damn
I'm
long,
applying to
bro.
join
I'm trying to get
Trigger.
off.
I was Trigger of...
Thank you. Fuck. Take a break? What the fuck you mean take a break? Thank you. Fuck. I gotta wait for this shit.